You don't overcome self-doubt by waiting to feel and be more confident. You overcome it by taking action even when you doubt yourself. And if that sounds easier said than done, then stick with me. So, over the next few moments, I'm going to share with you some very simple strategies and mindset shifts that I share with my own private clients to help them to build their self belief from the inside out. Because if you've ever had one of those experiences where self doubt kicks in and you second guess and you overthink your next move or what you're capable of, it can be really frustrating and really debilitating and really get in the way. But too often we wait till we feel ready before we do anything about it. In fact, the best approach is to take action even when you don't feel ready. But I'm going to share with you some strategies for how you can help yourself make that even easier for you than just leaving it to chance. But first of all, we've got to acknowledge what's happening. And the way the mind works is when we try to do something new, when we try to stretch out of our familiar comfort zones, the mind leaps into that self protection mode to keep us safe, to keep us secure. And that is what's happening is the mind's doing an amazing, brilliant job of doing that. But when you're looking to go to the next level, when you're looking to try something new, when you're looking to develop some new skills or to go to the next level in your life, your business, your career, your sport, then you can feel like something invisible is holding you back. And often it comes out in that kind of inner narrative, that inner kind of negative, critical self, the voice that kind of says, you know, all the reasons why you think you can't, or why you're not ready, or what if it doesn't work. And all that is doing is serving to keep you stuck where you don't want to be. So we're going to look at some simple ideas, simple strategies that you can implement very quickly, very easily, almost like mind fitness techniques that you can implement straight away. But self is so important, and it's why in my Sort Your Head Shite Out program, we look at self first, because we can look at all the strategies, we can look at all the conscious techniques, we can look at upgrading our mindset, our habits, our behaviors, our thoughts, our identity. But if you're coming from a place of lack of self or a place of self-doubt, then all of that is going to be much harder. So that's why it's so important to develop and strengthen yourself. And it doesn't matter how confident or how much self-belief you have or you don't have. It's something we can always expand. It's something we can always strengthen, like developing a physical muscle. We can always get it stronger. So these techniques are valuable no matter what level of self-belief and confidence you currently have. So let's get straight in with the first one. It's a four-step reset. And the moment you're aware of that inner script, that inner narrative of self-doubt kicking in, catch that thought, catch it, name it. Even say that's the negative self-talk script, or that's the feeling of not being good enough script. So catch it, name it, and then the second step is to question it, to almost challenge it, to audit. Is this true? Or is this complete fantasy? Is this based on evidence, or is this based off a feeling? Is this serving me? Is this keeping me where I want to be? Or is it moving me forward? Is it moving me away from what I want? So just challenge it and just question it, and just get the perspective of whether this is truth, whether this is based on evidence, or whether it's based on perception. Because once you've got that clarity, it becomes much easier then to do something about it. And that's what the next step is: to flip it, to switch it. What's the opposite of that? If you could install a belief in your mind that you'd like to be true, that would help you on your next step, your next phase, your next chapter, what is it that you would like? And if there is this underlying feeling of not being ready, then just maybe something along the lines of, I learn as I go, or I learn as I'm growing. I'm getting clearer with every day. Something that is the opposite of what's keeping you stuck at the moment. So catch it, question it, switch it, and then when you've identified what it is that you want, then take action. That's the fourth step. Take the next step, the next possible action that you can take that's aligned with that identity, with that belief that you want, and start creating some momentum and some evidence as you move forward in that direction. And speaking of evidence, that's another technique and strategy that you can have, because again, often when we're in that mode of self-doubt and lack of self-belief, we are kind of looking through a filter of negativity. And often it is based on perception, not reality. So what I'd like you to do is to start to kind of curate your own evidence bank of all your strengths, all of your successes, all of your achievements, all of your accomplishments, all of your skills. And it doesn't matter how big or small it might be. It doesn't matter how historical or how current they are. But maybe get a journal, a notepad, or even open a note on your phone called Evidence Bank. And every time you think of something, just add it to that. And you're training your mind to pay more attention. You're conditioning your mind for the truth of evidence that you have to support and back you up for having the self-belief and the self-confidence that's going to serve you much, much more in an empowered way than self-doubt will ever do. And it's not a one-hit wonder. Add to it as time goes on. And not only is that training your mind to do that, if ever you're having that moment, and you are human, so there will be moments where you do slip into that self-doubt, then you've got somewhere you can kind of visit. You've got something you can reference to remind yourself of the strengths, the strategies, the past accomplishments that reinforce your capabilities and strengths. That's reality, that's evidence, and it's much harder to argue with that than is just the perception that you have in your mind. So, and clarity is a big piece of that. The clearer you can get on the strengths and the confidence and the beliefs that you have, then it's much easier for your mind to keep moving in that direction. And another technique I like to do with my clients, which can help in this context really, really well, and it's based on the concept of back to your future, is using the power of your mind, the power of your imagination to connect to the future version of you. So if you can imagine yourself at a point in time, a magic wand has been waved. If anything was possible, and you have the level of self-belief, the self-confidence, the self-worth, the self-love, the self-value that would allow you to achieve and do and be all the things that you would like, what would that be like? And then from there, ask yourself, what and how does that version of me think, feel? What would that version of me do next? How would they deal with this situation? And then bring back from the future to your here, the now, to help you make a more informed next step, a decision, an action that will help you to move forward towards what you want rather than what you want. And the mind doesn't understand the difference between real and imagined. So by connecting to the feeling and having that clarity of what it's like to be that future you, that's helping no end, but also you can utilize that information to help you to make a more informed choice and decision for where you are now. So there's a few very simple techniques and strategies that you can use to help yourself. And remember that self-doubt not only can rob and steal you from opportunities, but it also kind of eats away at time. You waste an awful lot of time doubting yourself, but also energy. So imagine what you could do. Imagine how you could harness that time and energy in a more effective way, but also it kind of erodes that self-belief, self-confidence of who you are and what you're capable of. So think about how can you imagine that you could transfer, utilize, harness that energy, that kind of time that you used to waste, beat yourself up or doubting yourself, into something more productive. And imagine having that on your side to help you to propel yourself and gain that momentum to move forward. So there's a few ideas. Feel free to stop, pause, come back and look at them again in the future if you need to. But let me know in the comments, what are you going to take away from today? What are you going to use? And once you've had a go at them, let me know how it's helped you to build your self-belief and self-confidence. And if you need any extra help, remember, get in touch. And if you want to dig a little bit deeper and develop your mindset even more, then I have got the Sort Your Head Shite Out program that can help you do just that. But for now, there's a few ideas and a few techniques to help you on your way. And if you've got any questions, let me know. But please do let me know in the comments, because I always love to hear how you've used these strategies in your life. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care for now, and all the very best for you.